All right. Well, I just want to thank everybody for showing up for the SolidCAM night class here. Just going to be kind of going over the tool library this evening, and hopefully you guys can get something out of it. We'll start here real shortly, just getting some more people coming in as we speak. So just want to introduce myself. My name's Kevin Rankle. Work at SolidCAM. Been here for almost 6 years now, and also have with me Brendan McKenna. And Brendan is our Eastern account manager, and he'll be kind of helping me out with some of the questions that come through that you guys have. So just kind of some house cleaning stuff with the GoToWebinar. In the GoToWebinar, there is a section where you guys can do the chat or ask a question. In there right now, you guys are all muted just for the background noise to kind of limit that. But if you guys do have a question, definitely type it in to the questions pane, and I'll either address it right away if I see it right away, or we'll address it as we go along. So definitely laid back and just here to answer any questions you guys have and get you guys more familiar with this. And just to let you know, we're going to be doing a night class every Wednesday for the next few months here. And if you guys have areas that you would like to see a night class on, just let me know in the questions pane and we can add it to the agenda. But we'll probably be doing this for quite a while, and every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock Central Time. So, Brendan, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yep. Just wanted to thank everybody for coming in, and thanks for Kevin, for your time, and it's always it's nice to see the amount of attendance that we have here today or this evening. It's really kind of cool that we're able to do this stuff, and it seems like there's a lot of interest. So, like Kevin said, I'm going to be we're keeping everybody in listen-only mode again, just simply for the fact that we're just trying to eliminate background noise. But as we move through the presentation, I'll go ahead and I'll monitor the questions panes. I'll be answering those questions as they come up. And again, if there's something that is a little bit more technical that Kevin needs to answer, we will have a Q&A at the end of the session. So no problems there. So, but Kevin, just feel free to go ahead, and I'll let you take it from here.
Yeah, well, looks like we got quite a few people in right now, so I guess we'll start taking off. We'll just kind of go through the basics of a tool library, kind of go the ins and outs, adding tools, importing tools, exporting tools out, setting up your tool libraries, and all that good stuff. So we'll get the ball rolling here for you guys and see if you guys can learn something out of this. All right, so let me get So first things first with the SolidCAM tool library. I want to point out in your guys' SolidCAM settings, and I'll open it up here, you guys can set a default tool library for you guys. So if you come down to your tool table right here, you'll see where we can import from, and this can be on a global drive, this can be on OneDrive, it can be in the cloud, can be on a network, so anywhere you want to point this to. And this is going to be your default library. So if you guys have a couple different libraries, you can see in the drop-down, you can pick through the libraries, but this is just going to be your default library that gets brought into when you click Import Tool Library. So I just want to point to those out there. Go
ahead. Kevin, yeah, just got a couple of comments from the audience here. They're saying that menu, that pop-up window is a little bit hard to see. It's a little small. Could you expand that by any chance for them?
Is it getting bigger?
Yeah, it just seems like they're just having a little bit of a hard time seeing the dialog box.
Let me try changing.
Yeah, maybe change the resolution on your screen.
Yeah, let me if I can do a show screen. Let's see. Sorry about this, guys.
Oh, no problem. Hey, you know, it's a Wednesday night. I mean, you know,
Yeah, what else we got going on, right? Just trying to see where I can audience view.
Yeah, I'm just thinking maybe a little bit bigger font or something like that might be better. I think GoToWebinar might sort of truncate the
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where they have it so I can switch that around.
Sure, no problem. No, take your time. No worries.
View. Let's see.
And in the meantime, when you know, when Kevin is you know, making those changes, you know, again, we certainly appreciate everybody's time. You know, again, it's nice to see so many people in here. You know, on a Wednesday night, and you know, again, I think we've really, you know, maybe you know, something that we should take a little bit of a further look at in terms of availability on you know, weeknights and after hours and weekend, that we could do a little bit more. So
How's it looking now?
let's see. I don't see a dialog box.
I don't have any dialog box open here, but if I do SolidCAM, does that stuff look better? Pop-outs?
Let's see. Yeah, it still looks the same. Don't see a big change there.
Yeah, let's see, what can we do here?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, if you do like a zoom, that would be. Yeah, I think that would work. There you go. Yep, that's perfect, Kevin.
Okay, let me. All right, so let's get back to SolidWorks here.
Yeah, yeah. So we're getting some feedback saying that. Yep, looks. Okay. Yep, looks really good.
Okay,
perfect.
Perfect. All right, now I just got to figure out where my other stuff went here. Okay, so let's we'll go back through that settings here. All right, so in the tool table area, this is where you can see where you can set your default tool table. I have mine set to SolidCAM Master Tools for Aluminum. All these two tool libraries, and there's a couple more that come automatically in the install. And one thing I want to kind of say about these two right here is when I used to work at my old company, we had tons of tooling in there, and I actually pulled that list from my old company into here for you guys to use. Nice for, it's going to have all your end mills, drills, reams, pretty much anything under the in the tool chest that you guys will have. I think each library has about 800 to 850 tools in there with the feeds and speeds. You know, take the feeds and speeds with a grain of salt too, because you know, some machines run better with different feeds and speeds. So that is where you can go set your default tool table. Up here, you can also have a couple options. You can update the part tool table according to the machine tool table. So basically what it's kind of saying there is you guys have a global library and a local library. And I'll get into that a little bit later on, but what happens with the global library is you import, say, tool 25, 26, 27 into your local library, it renumbers those for you. By changing these settings here, it will keep the numbers the exact same for you. So just want to let you guys know about that. So that is in the SolidCAM settings. So what we're going to do now is we're going to create a tool library right from scratch. Best way to do that is come up to your tools, SolidCAM, and come to your tool library, and you guys can create a tool library. Now we have milling and turning and mill turn. Kind of recommend stay away from the turning, just turning all in general, because with mill turn, you still have all those great options in turning, just way more. So we'll do a new tool library for milling. We can say whatever you guys want in here. So we'll just say class library. And you guys can dedicate it to a related machine if you guys want. You don't have to at all. You can leave that blank for you guys. So after you guys put a name that you'll remember in there, you can hit OK, and it's going to bring up the blank library. Let me just kind of scoot this stuff over here and make it a little bit bigger for you guys. Okay, so we have a blank library. Now you guys can add tools to this as you please, and I'll kind of go through each tool, adding one in here, and kind of go through the basics of it. So by hitting the add button down here, this is going to add new tools in there. You can make copies of that tool. So let's say you had a 1/2 inch rougher and a 1/2 inch finisher. Instead of filling out all that data again, you can just copy it over and change up your feeds and speeds a little bit. This is going to delete the tool, and over here is our import, and over here is our export. And I'll kind of go over these just a little bit later on. But for right now, we'll add a new tool in here, and we'll say end mill. Now, we have lots of different options in here. So we'll kind of go through the top. Your tool number, basically what tool number it's going to be in. Now, is it going to be in the spindle or storage? So some machines have capability to be up to 250 tools. Some machines only have 25. And this is all going to be set up in your post processor. So once you hit over that amount, it's automatically going to switch it over to tool storage for you guys. So kind of nice feature in there. So you can actually have more tools than your machine can hold, but you can have those tools in storage and in the spindle at the same time. Station position, more for the mill turn side of things here. And if you guys have, like I said, tooling is all set up different throughout the industry, but at my old company that I worked for, we had 9,000 numbers that we set up for our tooling. So you guys can put that tool ID number in there. The nice thing also what we can do with the tool libraries is we can set up, so when you guys spit out a tool sheet, you can actually spit out the barcode. So for the guys that are using the vending machine style tooling management systems at your company, you guys can pull up that tool setup sheet, scan it with the little barcode scanner, and it's going to pop out your end mill or whatnot there. So keep that in mind. Description. This is the description that's going to actually pop out in your G code. It's going to pop out in your tool sheets. So any information, the most information you can put in here is the best. Your color is the color that you are going to get when you go to Solid Verify, HostCAD, that sort of thing. So let's start off. Topology. This is going to be the main components of your end mill here. So diameter. Now you guys can have, if you guys want, you can have the arbor diameter and the diameter of the cutter up here in inches, and you can have the length and stuff in millimeters. So you can mix match these around as much as you guys want. So we can start off with a 1/2 inch cutter. You'll see the arbor diameter automatically defaults to the exact same size. Basically total length is right there. Now all these fields, if you guys actually have a part open, this works really good with the drill bits. You can highlight this field and click on your SolidWorks model for your hole, and it will auto-populate that number for you guys. So a nice little feature in there. So we got total length, outside holder, and that's where your holder, you're going to be chucked up to the end mill, or in the ER, call it. Shoulder length is basically kind of where, I guess, the shoulder of the end mill is right there. So it gives you a good representation of what's going on there. And cutting length. H length is for your can't think, your machine simulation, and that's going to be set there. And then of course your number of flutes. So we can say, 4 flute or whatnot there. One thing I forgot to mention up here is you have a couple different options up here. So the show tool is basically going to get rid of your tool, and you can click and drag this guy out and expand it out as much as you want. You can click in there and rotate it around, all that good stuff. So when you guys get into your operation, there'll actually be another button right here. It'll show a little picture of an end mill with a mouse cursor. And I'll show what that does, but what it does is when you move your mouse off into the screen, it'll actually show your end mill around there. So, tool data.
Hey,
yep, go ahead.
You know, Kevin, I'm not trying to interrupt you at all. I just wanted to just maybe kind of bring up the fact, that it might be prudent to talk about the fact that tool libraries can be imported as well. So if you're using like, you know, Kennametal catalog or, you know, Valinite or something like that, you do have the ability to import tool libraries as well.
Yep. And I'll show you guys how to do that too. And the nice thing we have, well, I'll get in that in a little bit. We have the TDM.
Sure.
It's a tool management system, and it's a program that manages all your tooling for you, and we can actually coincide with them also. So, okay, so in the tool data is all your feeds and speeds. In here, you got your X, Y, Z, penetration, lots of different options in here for you guys, and this is set. Now, any feeds and speeds that you set in here are going to stay with this tool forever. But when you go to actually run this on the machine, if you wanted to adjust it, you can definitely adjust it on the local library. But anything that you make inside the global library right here is going to stick with it, so you don't have to re-enter these feeds and speeds in ever again. And we also have, you know, inches per minute, inches per tooth, RPM, and velocity over here. And you got your cutting direction, of course. Cutting conditions. Actually, let's just hold off on cutting conditions right now. We'll dig into that in a little bit here. On the iData tab, on the iData, that is only used for 2D iMachining and 3D iMachining. Really easy. Now, when you're using iMachine, you guys don't have to worry about the tool data because the iMachine automatically figures that out for you guys. But in here, we have our carbide, cobalt, HSS, and premium carbide is going to be your coated carbide end mills. You know, the TIN coatings and all that good stuff right there. And then your helix angle. Now, we have a drop down of different helix angles in here. And then for you guys that use the variable helix, just stick with the 35. That's going to be the best right there. But now let's say you guys have a 40-degree helix. We don't have it in the drop-down. Just type it in. It will automatically autofill for you guys and update the iMachining parameters for you guys. So if it's not in there, just type it in there. You're good to go there. Going over to the holder. In here, we have a whole slew of different holders in here. And you guys can create your own. And you guys can modify what we actually came with the install. So if we come in here, grab our 1/2-inch long tool holder, you'll see we get a nice representation of our tool holder, which also works great for crash detection and whatnot. If you guys want to edit that shape, you can just click on Edit Shape, and another screen will pop up right here for you. And this is the description of what it is under the show. If you actually click the edit, you can actually go through and change each one of these values if you want to make it exactly what's on your machine. The nice thing about this is anything, the more accurate this is here, the more accurate it's going to be on the Solid Verify, which is in return, once you guys run it through Solid Verify without any crashes, you'll be able to run it on your machine without any issues at all. So it's really nice to have this all accurate as possible. You know, realizing if you guys have 500 tools in your shop, it does take a little bit of a while to set it up, but at least by having the library set up, everything is there. You know what you have in that cabinet, you know, 20 feet away or whatnot, and you don't have to run down there and check flute length or, you know, how long your cutting length is or that stuff. So, shape tab, we'll cover that a little bit later on. Coolant. In here is our coolant options. Now you'll see that everything is red out except for the through tool and the flood. The reason the flood or the flood high pressure, everything in red, it's because we didn't set it up in the post processor and the machine's just not capable of it. If you guys see your machine in the red and you guys have flood high pressure coolant, just let our post team know and they can add it in there. So we can turn on our flood coolant, or we can do both flood and through tool coolant, and it will G-code out those proper G-codes for you guys. Tool preset. This is really nice. You can come in here and you can actually do a tool measurement if you guys have a tool length offset on your machine or a tool's breakage. So you can come in here, turn on, I just want to check the tool length, every time I run this end mill. I can come in here and check for tool breakage, and you can see you have your tolerances here, and you can do the tool breakage, check every tool, every operation, a couple different options in there for you guys. So really nice. And with the tool measure, it takes in consideration all the macro parameters inside, like your Haas machine, to measure that cutter. It knows exactly where to go on the table. If it's in the very top left side, it will go over there, measure that tool length and the radius. And for those of you who don't know how it does it, it's a little round pad, and it just comes and it touches off on the top, and then it actually takes the end mill and reverses the end mill in a counterclockwise, and it just kind of goes around that little spud. So, and the reason we do it reverse is so it doesn't cut into the measuring spud, I guess you could say. Tool message, if you guys want to add some additional information in there, and that's about it there. So, so that's just kind of how all the tools are set up. Every single one of our tools, just like our operations, if you guys are doing profile up to 5-axis, they're all going to look the same. So we try to keep everything the same for you guys. So we added our end mill. If we come in here and add a drill bit, we're going to see all the same stuff populate here. One thing I want to let you guys know about the drills, all drills are going to be one flute. So that's going to, if you guys are cutting or calculating off of chip load per tooth, drills are recognized as a one flute drill, I guess you could say. Like I said before, all different shapes, and you guys can set up your colors. So maybe if you want all your drills to be, red or orange, or got quite a few different to pick from here, you can do custom colors if you guys want to. Let's add I'm just going to kind of go through some of these tools just so you guys get a little bit more familiar with it. Once again, just doing a face mill here, adding some more tools in there. You'll see that we also have corner radius in there to allow for some of the inserts that have corner radius on there. Your angle of attack there, kind of self-explanatory. The nice thing too is as I click on each field, it populates in yellow what it's looking for. So now one thing I want to go over is the taps. In our taps, you have a couple different options. You have pitch per millimeters, pitch in inches, threads per inch. So if you guys are doing a 1/4 20 tap, you guys can just put 20. You got your 1/4 inch diameter, your tip diameter. Looks a little. We'll do 200 thou. Arbor diameter, that's usually around 200. Total length, everything looks good. And you can see I'm building it. Everything is updating as I click through the field. Now, if you guys get in here, and let me just try to air this out. Let's do 6, and say our cut length is 1.5. See, now I have an error popping up down here, and a lot of times, I think they fixed it now because now you can see I can get off of it, but before it wouldn't allow you to get off of this screen, and people were wondering what's going on. Well, if you look down here, we're actually getting the error down here saying cutting length cannot be greater than the shoulder length. So we just need to either increase our shoulder length or decrease our cutting length. And usually we just have to increase our shoulder length because our cutting length, we know what it is. So we can move that to 1.5, or you can do a right to size or just a little bit bigger. So, and then you'll see that our alarm goes away. Add one other tool here. Do a thread mill. Now with our thread mill, kind of the same thing as the tap. You have thread per inch, all that good stuff here. In here we also have our tables. So you can use, British pipe tap, metric, inch. If you actually click on user, you actually get a whole slew of different taps in here. So a lot of different taps in here. And if the one isn't in here that you're looking for, you can customize it how you want. So if we just go back to the table, and you can see that we have all the fine and coarse. So all you have to do is just double click. If you're doing a 1032, double click on it, hit OK, and it auto populates a lot of the information for you. This is also going to carry over into your operation. So it's automatically, when you guys are doing a thread mill, it's automatically going to populate that the thread pitch diameter, the cutting diameters, all that stuff automatically for you guys. So, all right, so we got a couple tools we're actually building up here. What we're going to do is, also what I'm going to show you is I'm going to actually import tools from a different job. So let's say I'm giving you all this information on how to create a tool library, and you guys are telling me, well, that's great. I wish I would have known this, 4 weeks ago when I created all these tools by hand. No problem. So what we can do is we can actually take those tools that you've already created in those CAM projects and bring those into your library for you guys. And here I'm sitting here talking with my hands, and you guys can't even see my hands.
Well, we all do that, Kevin. No problem.
Okay.
I could almost feel it. I could almost feel it, like that wind, kind of coming at me.
Yeah. Okay. So what I did is I clicked the import button here. Now, like Brendan was talking about before, we have several different tool library types. Up here in the top right, you'll see we have tab, we got ISCAR, CAM, SB, CSV, sorry, TDM, and that's a tool data management system, XLS. So the XLS, I'll touch base a little bit on that, but it's really nice if you guys are adding a ton of tools, and if you are really good at the Excel sheet. I know our CEO of our company, he is like an Excel guru, and you can just type all these numbers in there instead of having to go through, click add tool. You can actually put these into a spreadsheet, have them all there, and then import that spreadsheet in. So, but for right now, we're going to click on CAM part. So you guys created this part 10 days ago, and you made all these tools, and you want to know, you want to bring those tools in. So let's just go, and we are going to browse, and I'm just going to browse to some of my demo files that I use here. And let's do 2D, and we'll just say on that electrical housing. So on that particular part, I actually used these 3 tools here. Now I can select by just hitting your shift key, or if you wanted to leave out one, you can unselect one, and you can hit the little arrow. Now the arrow down here is import the selected ones. Basically import the ones that are highlighted. If you want to import them all, you can just definitely hit all. Or you can come up here and say copy to table or copy to all table. One thing that I want to kind of hit on here is if you guys just click on it and hit OK, it's not going to bring it in there. So you either have to double click it, right click and say copy to table, or click on selected. So just kind of keep that in mind. We'll import all these in there, and you'll see that I just imported all those tools from a different CAM project in here. So you guys can keep adding to this list at any time. So which really makes it nice for you guys, like I said, that are getting mad right now because saying, well, I don't have a tool library and I created all these tools on my CAM project. All you guys have to do is just browse to where those are, import those in, and you guys will be all set. So it really makes your life easier. So now the nice thing too is you guys can have as many tool libraries as you want. We don't limit to your tool library size, nothing at all. So at our old work, I had a couple different libraries. I had a tool library set up for my 7000 series aluminum, for 6000 series aluminum, for 1018, 304 stainless, all different libraries set up. A lot of guys will also set it up for the machine. So a lot of times you have in a production shop, you guys have dedicated tooling just to that machine only that stay in that machine. Plus you guys can add to that. So you can have tool libraries per machine because some machines run faster and whatnot. So it really makes it nice. So you guys aren't just limited to one library at all. So now we're kind of talking about those different tool libraries with the different speeds and feeds. In the tool data, we also have what's called cutting conditions. You can come in here, add a cutting condition for a specific work material. So we could say, you know, aluminum, and we'll add another one here for, let's see, 304 stainless. And you can set the feed for each one. So maybe for aluminum, you want to be flying, and for that stainless, we're going to slow it down to 5. And you can definitely put all the information in here. So once you click OK on this, you just tell it, you know, if you guys wanted to stay with one tool library, you can come in here, create a cutting condition for each one, and say, all right, I want to use this 1/2-inch end mill, but I want to cut it for aluminum. Check box the aluminum, hit OK, and you're good. That cutting condition is set up with those proper feeds and speeds. Or, you know, maybe next time you run a job, come in here and you want to run the 304 stainless, hit OK, you'll see that my feed rates automatically change with it. So a couple different options for you guys to kind of go over and kind of, you know, tune it the way that you guys want. We kind of keep the options as open as possible for you guys because, you know, us machinists, you know, you give us a part and 10 different machinists will tell you 10 different ways to machine it, right? But, okay, so what I'm going to do now is, let's say this is my master library. This is the library I'm going to use every single day. I want it set up so when I start a new project, I want this tool library to come in, and I want it to come in automatically. No problem. Let me pull up our post files here. And I should have had this prepped. Forgot about this. Let's see, VF3. Okay, so here is our machine ID file. Now, if you guys aren't comfortable in here, definitely let one of us know in tech support, and we'll get this switched around for you. But really nice in here is you can come in here and set your tool library under the working style, general, and you can actually set your machine tool table name. And right now it's set to none, but I can say class library. So anytime I grab this post processor, it's automatically going to download all my tools that I use that we created in that tool library. And I'll actually show you. Save that. Exit that. Open up a part here, and we'll come up to do our SolidCAM new milling. Okay, and I'll just put a quick coordinate system on here. Yeah, now I changed my aspect ratio of my screen. Now I got stuff that's missing. Let's see, where's my box at?
Yeah, it's almost like you're using that the zoom feature. So, but it really, on our end, Kevin, it works out well. So okay. it looks, yeah, it looks good.
We'll just flip around here. That'll look good enough right now. Okay. And we'll just hit our green check mark out. So now, actually I forgot to change my post. Come in here and I'll grab that VF3 post that I changed. So now I should have all my tools. Of course, it didn't work. Let's try this again here. Let's see, pull up our recent. fine. It's funny, you guys are you seeing screen flashing at all?
From my end, Kevin, it looks perfect. So no,
Must be something
no
with
issues really.
The 4K monitors.
Well, you know, you have all that fancy equipment, so I mean.
Got to be a nerd geek, right? Okay, now let's see if it pulls up for us. There it goes. So you'll see I grabbed that post processor and it automatically downloaded all these tools for me. Like I said, this works really good for it. This is your main library. This is your tool library that you guys are going to use on a daily basis. And that can be put in your post. And like I said, if you guys aren't comfortable with it, definitely give us a call and we'll get this in there for you. And like I said, what you can also do is, you know, we were talking about having different libraries for different materials. What we can do is have the post guys make a copy of your post and just say VF3 for aluminum, and then it will automatically pull all those aluminum tools in there for you. And we can do a VF3 1018 steel and have that tool library automatically download there for you too. So the sky's the limit for you guys, and like I said, we try to make it as easy as possible for you. But you know, in here, you guys will have all these different posts in here. You guys can get rid of all these and just have it so it's just your VF3 aluminum and your VF3 1018 steel. So I know it looks like there's a lot in here, but we can actually minimize those and kind of go over those in a different class. So that's really nice feature to have those tools automatically downloaded in there for you. Let me just pull up in that. And one other thing I wanted to show you guys here is the filters. So right now we only have 8 tools, but let's just do an import, and I'm going to bring in all my aluminum tools. All right, hit OK. Now you'll see we have, well, we're up to 741 different tools in here. But let's say I would just want, you know, to focus on the end mills. So I can come in here and hit the little arrow, and I can, you know, clear all and only show just my end mills, hit OK, and it's just going to populate all my end mills for me. So I don't have all those other tools in there to, you know, get in the way if they're not in order. So that's a really nice feature, or you guys can limit it to by diameter size. Say you just want anything from 1/8 inch to, you know, 1 inch. Oops, not 10 inch, 1 inch. Hit OK, and it's going to filter out all those end mills for you. So real nice feature for you guys. Now with you guys' tool table, you guys have a couple different views. Right here is a little expander. You can hit this arrow out and it gives you more information. Definitely feel free to expand this out as much as possible to maximize it, to see everything on there. But if you're, let's say, this particular one I don't care about, I can just click and slide that over. Come on, slide over. And then it gets rid of that. So you guys can pile up, or, you know, if you really don't care about the outside holder length, you guys can just shrink it up here and just get rid of it. So it's all within your view. So when you're in this particular tab right here, you can have all the important information at your fingertips right here. So here is that arrow that I was telling you about. And if this is checked on, I move this out of the way, you can kind of get a visualization of how that cutter is going to look pertaining to your part. So if you're trying to see, if you want to kind of come in here and just see if it's going to clear or get in there, or, you know, your ratio is good, it's a real nice feature to have. Inside, when you're programming inside your operation, you'll also see this feature. So, so we'll just hit OK here. Let's add a profile real quick. Grab our tool. And now I can come over here. Oops. And as I'm programming my part, I can come over here, take a look, or go to my levels, and that cutter will always populate for you guys. So just a couple different, nice nifty features in there. So now what I want to get into is exporting your tools out. Let's exit out of here. So let's say you guys want to kind of do the reverse role. One thing I forgot to mention is this library that we have open right here is your local library. It's just local to this part only, where before we were working in the global library. Any feeds and changes you make here are not going to affect that global library, which is nice. Two is, I forgot what I was going with this now. Let's see. Oh, we're exporting out. So down at the bottom, you can click export, and we'll just export all, and you can actually export them to, where'd that go here? Oh, different screen. It's going to export to the default location for you guys. You guys can change the file type right here. So let's say we want to export it out as an Excel spreadsheet, and we'll just say, let's see, SolidCAM class, and we can export out. Now what I can do is I can actually open up, oh, it's actually opening up for me. So it automatically opened it up for you. Now this is what I was telling you guys about if you guys have a lot of tool libraries and you like to work in the Excel. So right here is our information, what machine, all that stuff. On the milling side of things, you'll see all my tools are exported out here. But if I go down to the very bottom, I can actually add more tools in here. So I can just come in here, add my flutes, my cutting diameter, my feeds and speeds, all that stuff. And all that's all represented up here for you guys. So, turret number, position, sub-position. If it's a permanent tool, 1 is yes, 0 is no. Tool ID numbers. So, like I said, if you guys want to add a lot of end mills or a lot of tools in here all at once, this is a good way to do it. That way you don't have to worry about, creating tools each individual time. All right. And then that can also be opened at any time under your tables inch, and they are all right here. So I have quite a few of them in here, but you can come in here and say SolidCAM training class, open it right up, and start adding to that at any one point in time. This is where all your guys' tool tables are going to be stored. You can see our master for aluminum here, master for mild steel. Our class library that we just created a little while ago are all based right inside this inch folder. Or if you guys are working in metric, it's going to be under the metric folder. So, all right. One thing I wanted to show here is I'm going to add a operation here, and I don't really have a really good part for showing this, but we'll make her work. And we'll just add
a come on, Kevin. I don't believe that for 1 second. There's got to be some just tremendous part.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to throw you under the bus here, man. I just wanted to.
Okay, so we'll add that tool in there. Profile depth looks good, and save and calculate. I got feed that's too large in there. 10,000 might be a little bit much. Okay, so we have our one operation. Now what I'm going to do is copy that and paste that just a bunch of times here. We'll come up here and we'll just calculate all these guys. So what I'm kind of representing here is, let's say you guys ran this part out on the shop floor, discovered the feed was wrong. We need to change it. Now, if I come in here and change that feed from, 5, let's do here, from 50, let's see, 50 here. So it was 50, and we're going to change it. It was way too slow. We need to change it to 75. Hit OK. That's going to change my feed for that tool. The problem is it's only going to change that feed for that tool from any new operation I create from here on out. So if I actually go in here, look at my tool, look under the data, I'm still at 50. So what we've come up with is you can actually highlight all the operations that you need to change the feed on and right-click on it and apply feeds and spin from tool table. That will automatically re-update all of these operations that you created with that cutter from 50 to 75 for you, so you don't have to go through each individual operation and change the feed for you guys. So, do we have any questions yet? It feels like I'm just blabbling away here. Are people sleeping yet?
No. Actually, Kevin, I was actually monitoring the questions pane, and I think we answered the questions that came along. Maybe the only other question that you might want to expand on just a little bit was there was a question about working with Windows 7 and Windows 10. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, Windows 7, Windows 10, doesn't matter what operating system. All of our support guys are actually running Windows 10 except for one of our AEs, and he's still on Windows 7, a little bit old school guy. You'll see that I'm actually running Windows 10 right now. Works great, way better than Windows 8 or 8.1. Haven't had any issues at all. So definitely, if you guys are looking to upgrade your computers, let me know. And looks like we have form tools. Yes, that is.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you got a form tools question.
Yep, we are going to go over form tools, and I'm going to give you guys a video also, because form tools, even myself, when I was using SolidCAM, I would call into SolidCAM support and say, how do I make shape tools? How do I make my custom tools? It's one of those features that you use once every 6 months. So we will definitely go into great detail about that. So let's head right there.
Yeah, there were like 2 or 3 that just came in, right? Pretty much asking about that same thing, Kevin. Form tools, corner rounding tools, that kind of thing. So
it's a hot topic.
It's pretty. Yeah, it is a hot topic. Pretty easy to deal with.
Yeah. Our shape tools are really easy, guys. Let me do this. I am going to see if I can click on this. If it'll open it for me. There we go. Here is a video. Sydney, the SolidCAM professor, kind of went through how the shape tools and shape holders work. I'm going to go through it with you guys right now, but what I'm going to do is, let me just copy this link for you guys, and let's see, where can I put it in? Let's see, chat. Can everybody see that link that I just put into the GoToWebinar chat? Should be on the control panel towards the bottom. Anybody say yes, no?
Yeah, in the chat window?
Paste. Yes, they see it.
Sure.
Yes, okay.
Yep, everybody's got it.
That is a great video. Myself used it when I was, before I worked at SolidCAM, just because, like I said, it's something you guys don't use very often. So definitely check it out. Really cool. Kind of goes through step-by-step of Sydney. One other thing I kind of want to go through is if you guys go to YouTube, a lot of videos are on there. Sydney's actually got a Solid Professor page on there, and you can subscribe to him, and you can go in there, and I'll just actually show you here. You'll see under his videos, he has got a ton of videos, and if you're looking for a specific one, you can just do the search and find it right here. So definitely use that to your advantage. If you just come in here and, like I said, just do shape tools, you'll see it pops up the exact one that I just gave you guys the link to. So keep that in mind for future, just not only for shape tools, but anything that you guys are looking for, you know, if you're working late hours, whatnot. So, all right, so let's go over the shape tools. Let's do a corner round. So come to your tool libraries, and we're going to come down to shape tools. Now, in here is our shape tools. We used to have old school way where you would have to draw a 2D wireframe sketch of it, and it would automatically revolve. We still have that option, but we do have something a little bit better. So we can come in here and we'll just say add group. Let's see. I'll just say class. And we can add a whole new group. Now we can add a tool, and this is basically adding our tool in here. So for those of you guys who are looking for corner rounds, that's probably the number one question we get asked a lot is, why don't we have corner round tools in the tool library? The reason why is there are so many different shapes, so many different styles of corner rounds out there. We just can't get all that put in there with all the different the features that they have in there. But so that's why I kind of use the shape. So you can come in here, and it always starts from the bottom and work your way up. So corner round, I'm going to click on that bad boy right there and click on a shank. Now you'll see we automatically got our corner round tool right there. You have all the dimensions right here. So if you want to change the diameter, the height of it, or if we come over to the guts of the corner round, you can do the top diameter, the radius, start angle, sweep, lots of different options here for you guys. And you guys can keep building onto this as you go. So that kind of is how the corner round works. And let's just do, that'll work for right now. Let's see, top diameter. Let's do, instead of a weird number, let's do 750. And this one will be 0.75. Okay, so we have a 3/4 inch quarter round cutter. I can hit OK here, and my shape tool is in there. And I'll go into a little bit depth on how to bring that into your tool library, but let me show you a different way of doing those shape tools also. So come down here. Now, if you guys have a form tool that's just off the wall, we don't have the shape in here. You guys can click on the import button, and it's going to bring you back to how we used to do our shape tools. The sky's the limit on what you guys can do in here, because we're basically working with SolidWorks. So you guys can import, your tools in here that you got from your tool distributor. So you get all those funky shapes in there. A lot of the guys that do the hydraulics, the porting, this is where they come in with all their different tools in here. So real easy to use. All you have to do is for all you guys, there's already a sketch done there, and that's only to give you a representation on how it should be. So you guys can right-click on it, and boy, this is all. For some reason, I cannot edit my sketch. Keep getting a weird screen. Okay, looks like I'm in my sketch. So now you guys can come in here and start drawing. Okay, so now we got our shape there. So now what you can do is come over here, define your chain. Now you're going to pick your chain just like you're picking your geometry. So you can come in here. And once we define our chain, hit the green check mark and do finish. And you'll see it automatically revolved it. Now, it showed it being way zoomed out, but I'm guessing it's because I'm running with 4K and shrinked up here. But that shape will be there for you guys, and you can import that shape in there. And if you guys want, you guys can come in here and edit the parameters of that also. So now let's bring that into our tool library. Now you guys don't have to close out of your current project that you're in to do a shape tool. Just come up to here, do your tool, shape tool, whatnot. So now let's add that corner round tool in here. And what we are going to do is we're going to add a new tool. Here's the big one. Doesn't matter what shape it is, what kind of cutter it is, all your cutters, all your custom cutters, your shape cutters, are all going to be labeled as an end mill. The only thing that we care about inside here in the topology is the cutting diameter. Now basically, what is the outside diameter? So our cutting diameter was 3/4 inch for our shape and the cutting length. But I'm going to hold off on that cutting length for right now. So filled out my cutting diameter, and you can definitely do your feeds and speeds, do your coolant, all that. But then you come over to your shape, and you can scroll down, and you'll see our shape there. And you'll see that our picture automatically changed to that. Now, when I was saying about the cutting length here, right now it's showing that whole tool is being basically a cutting flute. So obviously that's not it. So if we just do like 0.5, oh, it's still a little bit big. Obviously you guys will have the print in front of you and you guys will know exactly. I'm just kind of guessing here. Let's see, 370. No. Close enough. So now you'll see we have our shape cutter. So to kind of do a recap, make your shape under the shape tools. Get it exactly the way you're looking for. Come in here to your tool table, add a new end mill, change to the diameter and what's the largest cutting diameter of your cutter, and then come over to the shape, pick the shape out of the global tab, just hit the checkbox, and you're done. So pretty easy, but like I said, it does take a few steps, and if you don't do it every day or every few days, you are going to forget about it, but that's why I wanted you guys to have that link to that video there. Copy that link or bookmark it or do whatever you can to remember that. Remember that one there. Same thing goes with the holders. So let me just cancel out of here, and you can come to your SolidCAM tool library and do shaped holders. So I know they have a lot of different holders out there. We want to accommodate those holders for you guys. So you can come in here, add a new one, and basically the same shape as before. You can change your cone angle, all of your different cylinders, everything right here, and build on top of that. So you'll see we have our 1/8 inch end mill holder with a cat 40. You know, if I wanted to change my angle from 46 to 20, okay, I guess the 20 is not within my range. Why can I not edit? I have a screen open. I can't see where it is. Do you see where there's a screen open, Brendan?
I'm seeing a tool screen, tool holders screen.
For some reason, it's saying I couldn't change it. Okay, we'll just go with this.
Is it on your other monitor?
Everything's all exploded up so big right now. It's hard to see where everything is.
Yeah, that's right.
No, all is good. So you guys can come in here, modify those cylinders. As I showed you guys before too, is inside the tool library, you guys can change the shape of your holders too. So if you click on the holder, click on edit shape, you can modify it right then and there too. Now, like I said, if you guys want to use these tools into your global, just open up that global, import them in there and whatnot. One other thing I want to go through is the height offset and the diameter offset. The H values, D values for houses, I know each machine's different. Right here under your tool data, the bottom right, you will see a checkbox. So you can have a different diameter offset for your cutter. So if you're using tool number 1 and you want to use a diameter offset of 100 through 1000, definitely can. It is going to default by leaving it unchecked, whatever tool number you are using, tool number 1, H1, D1. That's going to be the default, but if you guys want to change that to something different, definitely come in here, hit the checkbox, change it there, or what you can do is right in the operation itself, come to our tool, data, and offsets right here. So you can change the diameter offset. One thing I wanted to go through too is you'll notice that if you're using this same end mill for different operations, a lot of the stuff is going to be grayed out. And the reason why is you're using that cutter for many different operations, and we want to notify you that. So if you need to change something in there, get out of the operation, come into your tools here, and now you have full accessibility to change all your numbers for you. Same thing with the feeds and speeds and whatnot. I think that's about it. What I want to do, guys, is I have actually recorded this webinar for you guys. Anybody that would like it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my email address into the GoToMeeting chat. KevCAM.com. Okay, in the GoToMeeting chat is my email address. Let me know if you guys want a recording of this. I will upload it to OneDrive and give you guys a link. Just like I said, shoot me an email of anything that you guys want to do with tool libraries or tech support at all. But I will have this recording up for you guys probably around midnight tonight, and I'll get that uploaded. So just shoot me an email, let me know if you want a recording of it, and let me know what else do you guys want to see in the SolidCAM Night School. This is kind of something new that we're starting with, and I'm just trying to come up with ideas which, you know, can help you guys out. So if you guys have some ideas, shoot me an email also, and we can address those as they come in. Let's see, what do you recommend to show or draw tools when using?
Yeah, you know, Kevin, I was just going to say there was a question about boring heads. Do you want to talk about that now, or maybe should we take that offline?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, let's talk about it now. With boring heads, I mean, I'm not sure which style you're actually looking for, but with boring head, you just got to remember the shape or the custom tool of it is just visualization only for the Solid Verify. So if you just want to, I mean, you can draw all that good stuff in there. The Solid Verify is just going to take it and revolve it. Now, if you guys are using a, you know, a boring bar or boring head from, you know, ISCAR, we can definitely go through the ISCAR and if we come to our tools, come on. And we'll do import and move that over here. And we can go to ISCAR, and you can actually start the ISCAR Tool Advisor, so you can do, you know, the ones in there, and then it will automatically do all that boring head for you. ISCAR has a lot of boring heads in there. Even though if you're not using the ISCAR boring head, definitely you can go in there and use that. Let's see. What is the relationship of tool numbers in the tool library to tool numbers in the G-code program? From what I gather out of that one is you're asking if we're using tool 1 in here, it is going to be called out as tool 1 in the G-code. If you guys want, you guys can definitely change that number. Come in here, and somehow these got set to permanent. Let me set non-permanent. You guys, if you want this tool to be tool number, you know, 1, whatever number, just come in here and change it to the number that you're looking for, and then it will populate in the program. Let's see, how can I...
Kevin, there's another one. How can I transfer my tooling from one computer to another?
Okay. Yeah, that is in the SolidCAM settings. So in here, let's just get out of here real quick. To SolidCAM settings. and we'll go to the tool tables right here. You know, me personally, I'm just running on a local machine, but what you guys can do is copy this inch folder, and I'll pull it up here. This inch folder right here, and that's going to be in your C user public documents, SolidCAM 2015, 2014, tables inch, and that's going to be right here. You can copy that file out, put it onto your server, then everybody in your company can be pulling from that same tool library, can add tools to that tool library and whatnot. So real easy to put it live for everybody, and then you can come in here and set your tool library also to, instead of going to the default location, you can change the location to on the network.
Okay, cool. You know, Kevin, the only other question that I see coming in is what is ID number used for?
Tool ID number used for is for when you're ordering tools. Like I said, we can get those to populate on the tool sheet. So when you're pulling tools, a lot of companies use tool ID numbers instead of descriptions. So half-inch end mill is going to be all 9,000 numbers. All your taps are going to be 3,000 numbers. It's just more information for you as a programmer and for the maybe the setup guy that's setting up the machine and whatnot. So that's kind of what the tool ID numbers are for. Nothing to do with SolidCAM. It's just purely for your guys's you know, stuff that's going on there. So one other thing I really want to touch base on, and not really geared towards training, but just want to kind of bring this out to you guys. We have a program, and I was able to get Sean, our CO, to kind of give you guys a little bit of a benefit of, you know, listen to me blabble in the middle of the night when you guys could be sleeping. We have what's called, you know, SolidCAM Tell a Friend. What it is all you guys have to do is let us know of somebody that's interested in CAM. We get them into demo. You guys get $50. It's a $50 gift card. There is no strings attached. There is no activation. It's all activated for you guys. But if you guys mention that you guys were in the KevCAM class, we are going to double that for you guys. So instead of getting $50, you are going to get a $100 Visa gift card, no strings attached. Like I said, you just let us know. Your neighbor down the street has a CAM shop. Well, if he gets into a demo, he gets you get $100 cash. If he buys the software, you guys get 20% of that. So let's say he bought a $10,000 worth of SolidCAM from us, you guys get $2,000 off of that.
Can you do that math real quick, Ken? Yeah, I wasn't sure. I'm just joking, man. I'm just joking.
Just want to throw that out to you guys. Easy cash. Tell a friend. Like I said, no strings attached. All you have to do is just let us know who it is. You guys can give us a call for that particular part of it. It is 866-975-1115 extension 1. Or you guys can email me. You guys can email our SolidCAM sales guys. So definitely take advantage of it. Tell your friends about it, whatnot. So, and like I said, definitely email me of any tips or classes that you guys would like to see in the future too. If you go to our website, you'll see the different classes that are coming up. I can actually show you guys a quick little peek of what we're going to be kind of covering over the next few weeks. Go ahead.
Yeah, you know, and Kevin, while you're doing that, one of the last questions that just came in is how do we activate to use barcode for the ID number? So in other words, and I know what he's saying. A lot of times there's there might be like a tool crib where there would be perhaps like dedicated tooling for for like a tool ID. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So. And that's more to do with our SolidCAM setup sheets. You guys can fully customizable in either Microsoft Excel or Microsoft Word document. And I have the documentation on how to customize all those phrases. But like I said, what you guys can do is you can get a picture of that barcode, and then anytime you guys pull that tool up, it's going to automatically populate that barcode on the setup sheet, so your setup guy down at the vending machine can just go through and scan that.
Excellent.
So whoever's looking for that, like I said, just shoot me an email. I can get that document off to you right away, and that way you guys can use that setup sheet to your discretion. And like I said, it's just using Microsoft Word and Microsoft Excel, so if you really know those, it's going to be really easy for you guys.
Okay. You know what I'll do, Kevin? I'm going to contact that particular attendee for with that question, and if you could email me that information, I'll get it off to him.
Perfect. That'll work great. So here's kind of the night class agenda. Some of this is on the website, some of it's not. So next week we're going to kind of go over stock, all the different ways to pick stock, 3D stock, using the auto feature, using the round feature. Same thing with fixturing, different techniques for chaining. So here's a whole slew of stuff we're going to kind of be going through, and we're going to be doing this every Wednesday for a little while, and if we keep getting good positive feedback, we'll keep going with this forever. So other than that, guys, I have nothing else. Hopefully you guys learned a lot. If you guys have any feedback, please let me know, and I think we'll end it now and people can go to bed. And I heard from one guy that said it was too late at night, he's sleeping at that time, he's too old for this, so he wanted the recording, Brendan.
Well, again, if I can just, again, just kind of add a little bit to this, thank you so much for everybody spending the time here. It's very, it obviously, if you're spending the time after hours for you to find this valuable to you, then obviously it's well worth our time. So,
absolutely.
Again, thank you so much for spending the time here tonight.
It's been fun, and I guess we'll hang it up here, guys. And like I said, let us know if you guys have a question, and I will get the, for Hunter, I'll get that off to you, Brendan, and you can send it off to Hunter and on how to set up those setup sheets. So thanks again, guys.
Excellent. And
have a great night. And if you guys have tech questions, definitely give us a call. Myself, I work on the support desk, and that's 866-975-1115 extension 2. So, all right, guys, have a great night.
Take care.
Bye-bye.